Hey everybody, my name's Ryan, and here at eTrailer we install, test fit, and review a lot of different parts. That way we could try to answer any questions those of you might have. And that's exactly what we're doing today on our 2020 Honda Passport. We're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the CURT Vehicle Wiring Harness. So with these Passports being really versatile SUVs, a lot of people do some towing and things like that, and that's where the wiring is going to come into play. So not only are you going to be able to hook up to your trailer, that way the lights will work and you'll be safe and legal, but you can also use it for light up accessories, things like cargo carriers, for example. What's pretty cool about this setup too is actually you can leave it inside whenever you're not using it. That way it is out of the elements. But whenever you are ready to use it, it's going to be really easy. Just open up your hatch, flip open your storage compartment, and it is stored right there. So it gives you a nice clean look. It's out of the way. And whenever we're ready to hook up, all we're going to have to do is drape it over our threshold. The wiring is designed to sit over the threshold like this, so when you close your hatch, you're not going to have to worry about damaging it or anything like that. It's perfectly fine. You do just want to avoid the latch area. You don't want to get it hung up in there. With that being said, once we close our hatch, we're going to have plenty of length to be able to hook up to our trailer or our light up accessory. Now, if you're somebody that plans on using your wiring all the time or just prefer it to be permanently mounted outside, that's no big deal. You can do that as well. There's actually a grommet right under here that'll allow you to pass your connector through. And then you can pick up some brackets and secure it like that. So you're going to have a couple of different options, and you can use whichever one will better suit your needs. If you do leave it inside, what you can do, say if you drop your trailer, you plan on picking it up a little while later, you can always just open up the dust cover, kind of loop it around your safety chain openings, and secure it like that too. So pretty neat. If we take a better look at the dust cover, it's nice and thick. It's going to do a good job of protecting our terminals, especially if you have it mounted outside. And I do suggest, not a bad idea to go a step further and from time to time, just apply some dielectric grease to those, and that'll really help prevent any corrosion and make sure that the wiring lasts for a very long time. I also really like too the fact that this kit uses a module box, and what that's going to do is protect your Passport's factory wiring if a short or an electrical issue were to occur on the trailer side. So give you a little bit of peace of mind knowing that you're not going to jeopardize your Honda's complicated electronics. I also really like too the fact that they utilize a factory connector back here to get your wiring working. So why bother with running extra wires and everything else when Honda has already done the majority of the work for you? So because of that, it's going to be really easy to install and shouldn't take you a whole lot of time. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and do that together now. To begin our installation, we're going to be here at the back of our Passport, and we're going to be working inside, so we'll open up our hatch. And once that's opened up, we need to remove our floor covering. So just pull up on it and kind of work it out. If you don't want to come out, not a huge deal. You can always just kind of fold it up like that. That'll work out fine as well. Now what we're going to do is remove this cargo compartment. At the very ends here, there's going to be some quarter turns, just one on each side. So you just put that into the unlock position. We can grab it, lift up on it, and set it to the side for now. Now we can remove our threshold. So first thing we're going to do, there's this little panel here that is around our latch. We're going to remove that. You can take a small flathead screwdriver, just kind of pop that out. And to get the threshold off, we're just going to kind of pull up kind of along the way, and that's just going to release some of the clips that's holding it in place. So there you can see what some of those clips look like. With this off, we'll set it off to the side. So now right here in the corner on the driver's side, we're going to have a cargo hook. If you lift up on that, and there's a little plastic cover beneath it. So you can get a small pick or a screwdriver and pop that open. And underneath there, you'll see a Phillips head screw. So we're going to pull that out. We can lift up on this and set it to the side. And kind of moving up here, we'll have another cargo type hook. This is actually a cover, so we'll take our pick and pop that cover off, and behind it we're going to have a 8mm bolt that we need to pull out as well. So now what we can do, this panel here, we can pull it away from the vehicle, and our factory tow package plug should be located somewhere behind it. So if you start up here at the top, I grab the corner of it, kind of just carefully work it out, releasing the clips. We're able to pull it out. Now it seems like this wire here for our button that controls our seats to fold them down has some tension on it, so I'm going to release it. At the top there's a small button you can push, and that will disconnect it. So if we push our panel out, we're actually able to locate our connector plug, which is this one right here. So now what we can do is grab our trailer wiring and one end of the harness. We're going to have a plug here that matches up with our factory tow package plug there. And this is just simply going to get plugged right into it. Now we can take our white wire with the pre-attached ring terminal and ground it to the body of our vehicle. It actually turns out there's a factory ground right here, which will work out perfect. So as opposed to drilling a new hole or anything like that, we're just going to utilize that. Take a 10mm socket. We're going to pull that bolt out. Once we have the bolt out, we can simply take it, push it through that ring terminal, back through all those factory grounds, and then re-secure it. If we come to our fuse holder, open it up, we're going to take the included fuse and install that. We'll push that into place, close up the dust cover. Now we can move under the hood and get a fuse installed in the fuse block as well. Now under the hood, here on the driver's side, we can see this fuse box here. We remove the lid, pushing down on these 3 tabs. And what we're looking for is this opening here. That's for the trailer main. So we'll take our included fuse, pop that in, and reinstall our cover. So before we get everything secured and put back together, it's a good idea to test your wiring to make sure it's functioning properly. I'm using a small tester, and you can pick that up right here at eTrailer. So go ahead and run through our signals. We'll try our left turn, our right turn, our brakes, and our running lights. So I went ahead and just secured our wiring. I just used some zip ties to secure it to some of this factory wiring. That way we're not going to have to worry about it bouncing around. And when you do this, you want to make sure to take your 4-pole flat connector and just kind of run it out towards the center of our vehicle, because this is going to stay inside. Now we can reinstall everything the opposite way that we removed it. So I'll plug my connector back in up there. I'll line the panel up, and this more or less just pops back into position. I will say, when you work this down, sometimes it helps to kind of pull back on this weather strip. You don't want that to get pinched in there. You want the weather stripping to set on top of the panel. So kind of go down a little ways at a time. That way we can get that sitting where it needs to be. When you go to put your cargo compartment back in, what you can do is kind of hold your 4-way connector wiring up, drop that compartment down, latch it back in, and this can be stored inside of the compartment when you're not using it. And that'll finish up our look at and our installation of the CURT Vehicle Wiring Harness on our 2020 Honda Passport.